Do they make you hear yourself?
Yeah, so you can hear the feedback the entire time.
On your headphones?
Yes. Yeah, so we can hear what each other sound like on the recording live. And that's what that contraption does. That I sent over to you.
Yeah.
That's what that does. And I guess that actually allows us to take it other places and be able to
make it portable.
Yeah, because then the quality,
we could do like on location.
Yeah, because the quality that you get here is because it's kind of a closed environment.
Yeah.
As opposed to like if we did it on the, let's say on the firearms range.
Yeah.
Something like that. Where
do it in the academy too.
We could do it anywhere with that piece of equipment. So that was the cool part.
Then it has all the additives like the claps,
Yeah, I don't know what those things were on the side.
Because I've seen that. I've seen that same contraption used on another podcast, and it looks almost identical.
Yeah. It seems to be a popular one. Whenever I started looking at it, there was a lot of reviews.
Yeah, so like one of the guys I listened to, that E.T. Hip Hopper.
Okay.
The the hip hop preacher, motivational speaker guy, like.
Right.
He it's cool because he sticks all to himself. He's like, look, I wear J's and sweatpants and a hat because that's who I am. Mm-hmm. You know, like that. He said I was homeless about 10 years ago.
Like,
I was eating out of garbages.
Yeah.
You know, and here I am. So he was like, I'm not changing that. So he was talking about how he would go to like exhibits or speeches with like Bill Gates. The guy, I don't know, influential billionaires. Mm-hmm. And he was like, they're all in suits and stuff. And he was like, I'm wearing my hat and my J's.
It's also something to have him stand out too, which is a nice part.
No, he totally.
I always wonder if it's a costume or if it really makes him comfortable. Like I think about that with certain choices that people make with their clothing. Yeah. And to stand out like that.
Yeah.
Is it
like my tight pants?
Like your tight pants. I wasn't gonna bring them up. I bring them up a lot,
bro. They were like super. Those were super tight, but
they were nice.
They
I have a pair of pants like that I only wear around the house. Because I bought them at Reebok, and I'm just like, I'm not taking these back. Cause I think I got them on sale anyhow.
Yeah. And
they only had a large, not an extra large, and the larges were they're pretty tight. So I wear them around the house.
You got a bubble butt too, so that
I know that's the sad part. I got that bootay.
And your size 34 caps.
It's like bam, 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 bam. It's like just a snowman situation on the bottom half. Anyhow, we want to introduce ourselves.
Oh, hey, we still rolling?
Oh, yeah, we're rolling.
Yeah, we rolling.
Yeah. I'm Ron, Ambitious Distractions on Instagram.
Aaron Diaz, GC Rican _Valor PDS.
Your host and co-host here on the Stars Podcast.
Pew, pew.
So today we were talking before we jumped on here with my wife, as we always do.
Yeah.
Over some coffee and coffee, bagels, and cookies.
Yeah, homemade cookies.
Oh, Sunday was nice Sunday.
I can't turn them down.
We were talking about being selfish.
Yeah.
So speak to that a little bit from your perspective, because I have my own stance on this.
Well, I think what brought this all on, I was called a narcissist. And in my tones,
I'm going to be chugging waters here.
In my experience, a narcissist is someone that really doesn't care about a lot of other people, just themselves, and they have such a like, even to the detriment of other people. And I think like we do a lot of positive stuff for everybody, so it kind of hit me in the gut a little bit. It's like, well, if I'm a narcissist, I mean, there's some really, really bad people out there.
There's some soul searching that you had to do too, though.
Yeah. So I had to really think about, hey, so am I, portraying this to people? And I think that for some of the good that I do in this world, do I do it just because I want people to look at me and say, hey, you're a nice guy? Like, and I came up to my own conclusion that that's not true. You know, because I don't look at.
So what types of things were you looking at in your life when you were thinking about this? Like some situations that you do good for other people, but you thought that maybe it was like the examples that you use in your own head to come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
So, so one, the podcast came up, you know, and we're putting out free content to just, you know, people for positive reasons. Two, me teaching kids and adults Krav Maga, like for a self-defense to make them a better person. Firearms classes, because I want them to be able to take care of themselves and their family, not relying on law enforcement or anybody else to do that. So I never once thought about that I was doing that to get my own self-gratification. Like, I didn't do this and I didn't do these things for one, to put money in my own pocket, because I'm still dead broke. You know, I still got freaking, you know, late notices, you know, I'm taking from Peter to pay Paul. So there's nothing affluent that's coming out of this. What I saw myself was doing was like, hey, you know what? I like it when somebody comes up, hey, I have MS and Krav Maga is really helping me. You know, that's the gratification that I get. It's not because they're going to continue to pay me, although that's the residual income to that. You know, that's the residual outcome to having them pay me. But they're still feeling better about themselves. They're dropping weight. They're feeling stronger.
But that's your motivation.
That's my motivation. My motivation is not the money.
Yeah, it's not. You don't go into it expecting people to recognize you as the. I don't know how to say it. Like, you don't go into it with the mindset, I just want to do this because I want people to think I'm awesome.
Right, yeah.
You go into
like
it with
that pedestal guy. Like, I'm not that guy. Like, I'm just a normal dude.
Those guys are super annoying too. You know, because it's always about them. Everything is about them. And okay, yeah, that's really what I wanted to get at was, you know, those, because I feel like we, as somebody who goes out, you put yourself out there and you want to do things that will make you more successful in your mind. Right. That takes away from other things. Yeah. Right. So that means that you're being selfish. And being selfish is essential to improving yourself. Yeah. It's essential. You have to give up time from something else to do you. Right. It's impossible. I don't want to say it's impossible, and it's impossible unless your family is going to do it with you, like how, right by your side. How could you be as successful, like with your weight loss, with your running, with your getting always to that next level? You had to be kind of that selfish person, to do so. Yeah, exactly. And it takes hours upon hours away from your family to do it. And I just don't think that it means that you're a narcissist. Because being, in my mind, and you hit on it a bit, was being a narcissist means that you're doing it at the cost of other people. Like you wouldn't even find pleasure in hearing that you helped somebody. Like, that wouldn't even be something that motivates you. Yep. If you were a narcissist. Gotcha. Now, the selfish part, yes, that is something that I think can be just as bad. Yeah. As well. Kind of like the thin line between love and hate. Mostly for your family. Yeah. And this is just coming from my personal experience is you have to, and we've talked about this before, which was, I think it was the Validation is Key episode. Yeah. Where the time that you spend is just as important with your family as it is with yourself. Right. You know, that time that I spend on me is very important for my relationship with my family. Absolutely. And then also, I think giving myself that time, now some people might say that I put more time into my activities, but I think it's your world, Ron. But yeah, everybody else just living in it. Who did I sound like, Ron? My wife. But it also helps my relationships with my family because I'm happier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But and I think that I give so much credit to my wife for this too, is she's not, and I said this from the beginning when I met her, was I want you because you want me, not because you need me.
Yeah.
That's a big thing for me. I don't like the insecure parts of relationships.
Yeah, I've been in relationships that's it. Like, I'm your world, and
and you're constantly struggling to meet those needs of that other person, and you really can't focus on things for yourself. You're always focused on the relationship. Now, if that's you, that's you. Like, that's just not me.
Yeah.
But I give credit to my wife in my whole entire journey in these last couple of years, because she has been able to say, go do it.
Yeah.
No, go. Because she knows.
Reluctantly sometimes.
Of course.
Yeah.
But she also understands that I need it.
Mm-hmm.
I need that time. You know, and yeah, that is selfish.
But you've also communicated that with her as well. And it comes back to, like, you have to have open lines of communication with a relationship, regardless of what it is, in business and friendships and in relationships with your spouse.
Her and I's relationship, if that's
eyes? Is that how it goes?
Possessive eyes. Anyhow, our relationship,
no English teachers out there,
has assisted me in forming way better business relationships. And the way that it's done that is just the honesty part.
Yeah.
That honesty that I have with my wife has transitioned to honesty with friends, which has cut friends off.
Yeah.
As a result. The honesty it's grown my business. I mean, I've put fourfold in my business since I've really started to communicate more effectively and honestly than trying to. And this is where I think the narcissist comment hit me, because I was always after closing a deal. I wasn't after forming a relationship. Now I've gone the other way, and I've formed more relationships. The deals just come.
Absolutely. That is so, and that's it. Anybody trying to start a business out there, like, it's all about building a relationship.
It is, and I always said that.
Yeah,
I was always like, yeah, I build relationships. This is what I do. I connect. I wasn't connecting.
No,
I wasn't.
Yeah,
I just wasn't. I was trying to close deals.
Well, it goes back, because I remember at one time when we were starting this firearms business, it was all about money. With another partner that we had, it was just like, hey, you guys are charging, half of what I charge. I make more money than you per person. Like, totally got that. But all that did was get their foot in the door. And now we have a relationship. They understand who we are, and we keep them comfortable. So now the next course is going to be $10 more, but you have that relationship with us already. We already got that. You already know, hey, we're a bunch of cool dudes that like to have fun, safely on the range. And that's how it gets.
Right.
People are getting mad at us, friendly wise. They're like, hey, look, can I write this off on my taxes? Because a good portion is going towards your business. And they don't even see it. They don't feel it. Why? Because they have the relationship with us. Because we're making it so easy for them to sit there and pay towards people that they're friends with.
Right. Which is not narcissism.
I like it. Thanks. You just helped me out there. Because really, like,
it's not. You're not doing it because you want. You're doing it because you want to help people, and by helping people, you make money sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah,
and you shouldn't apologize for that.
Yeah, but I think the fact that it was a friend that said it to me, or what I thought as a friend. But what I found out is when you start to get older, your circle gets smaller, because now it comes at, look, my man, I really don't care about where you're at, because this is so much bigger than you. And there's a lot of people that won't accept that. A lot of people won't accept that.
Won't accept
that you're being that honest with them.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
The honesty, it has to be there. The older you get. Yeah.
We've had a friend say, I can't be friends with you because you're too honest to me. They said that.
Yeah.
Like they were so far removed from reality that they didn't want to hear us say something that was real.
Those are the same exact people that post a picture, and let's say I post a picture and you didn't like it or you didn't comment on it. Like, I don't feel some sort of way because you didn't. It doesn't make you any less of a friend that you didn't, but there'll be people out there to be like, oh, you could only comment when you want to, or you could only like when you want to.
Isn't that incredible?
Or what? I only get a thumbs up, not a heart. Are you serious? Like, this is where we're at as a society?
Yeah.
That's bananas. Like, what kind of relationships are we doing here?
Who was I listening to the other day? Somebody was saying that they were on Instagram. They go on Instagram when they're dating somebody and make sure that they look at their story so their little head pops up. Just like they go through, they don't even really look at it. They just click through it so their head pops up on the viewable people.
Oh my gosh!
Just to say that they were. I think that's creepy.
Yeah, that's like single white female type stuff.
Oh,
you might as well just cut your hair and freak. I'm growing a beard because of you.
Yeah, buddy. Get it strong.
Oh, I can't do it.
You can do it. It looks good. I like the thin straps.
Well, that's all I could get because
I like it, though.
I bald right there. right in the side of my cheek.
This is like 4 months strong, and it's still like,
bro, you paint it. You got a pencil.
Here.
Do you pencil it?
I don't even know what that means.
You can put a little pencil and like make it look like it's dark.
Oh no. I don't do all that. That's way too much effort.
Yeah.
It's too much effort just to keep it trimmed. I don't even have trimmers because I don't grow a beard.
Yeah.
So I don't have trimmers. And now I'm like pulling like clumps out and just like clipping.
You can get a little.
I can go
$10.
I can go up to Mastercut or not Mastercuts.
Go to Walmart and get it yourself.
No, I like it when other people do it. I like it. It's they go through it.
Oh my!
They know what they're doing more than I do.
No, they don't. Some do.
Yeah, the one lady I go to up by the academy, she knows what she's doing.
Oh.
Yeah, I always go to her. Her boy does taekwondo too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's like off and on. He's so young that it's a fleeting memory every time.
I know. Oh, talk about that. Like I took my son with me to his class on Saturday, and he's 3, but he was super excited. He freaking had one of my old orange belts on, and the Browns were just like, when did he become an orange belt? I was like, shh, that's let him be.
Yeah.
Let him live today.
Let him live.
Yeah. No traditions right now. Come on. He's 3 years old. Let's give him, start building the relationships, Browns,
Yeah. As if we need to tell them that.
Oh, God. Beautiful people.
They were beautiful.
Yeah. So it was funny. I was driving in, since we're talking about friends and things like. I remember when I was younger, like I used to have friends that if I called them up and be like, "Hey, bro, I just killed somebody. I need help burying a body."
They'd be there.
There'd be guys right there, be like, "All right, no worries. Let's go," And do we still have that? Like,
this is so weird.
Go ahead, talk about it.
I was just talking about this the other day because I was saying like I don't have the like I don't want to say I don't have friends. I have friends.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you ever notice that you don't have a lot of friends that know you forever?
Yeah. Right.
Like, you don't have a lot of friends that...
Like, how many friends from high school do you still even talk to?
That's what I'm saying.
And
without Facebook.
Yeah.
How many do you talk to without Facebook?
Right. Yeah. I don't think...
0.
No.
I have 0. Now, I only had a class of 90-something, but I have 0, really, that I talk to.
But now, at that point in time, those high school friends were your world.
Right. You would call those guys up, and those were the guys.
Yeah.
That... And then you have... For me, like, now I have the college buddies, and then you had the work buddies, and now it's like, well, I don't really talk to them anymore because you continue to move forward, and there's only so many people that can keep up and move forward with you.
Right.
Life
happens.
Not to say like I'm leaving people behind and eat my dust type of thing, but like everybody's moving forward in their own avenues.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to have those. You have to put forth such an effort to have those friends as you get older, I feel like.
Yeah.
And even if they were your neighbor and then you moved, like you guys could be super tight as neighbors, and then once one of you moves, you're not friends anymore.
Yeah. It will. I take it as stages, right? So when
I call them seasonal friends.
Perfect. Different seasons in your life. Like you got your dating season of friends, you got your married season of friends, then you got, because relationships break, like
Sure.
a buddy of mine, matter of fact, you know him, Tim. We had a group of friends. He was the first one. It was 3 of us, me, him, and Chad. He was the first one to get in a relationship. It was like, oh, hey, we're bros, blah, blah, blah. He got into a relationship, but like, oh, well, all of us got to get in relationships now, And then it comes down to, okay, you have kids. Now do you have young kids? Your other friends might not have kids, or they have older kids. So, like, babysitting becomes an issue. Sicknesses become an issue. And not everything is always about you and your friendship. Now it's you and your children. So things start to progress that way, and people fall behind. But what I think is good, like, I got some really good friends in Seattle that I can pick up after 5 years, pick up the phone and call them, and it'll be like we just talked yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that's a good quality of a friend,
No, I agree with that part of it. And whenever I thought about it, like you definitely have those friends that you pick up right where you left off.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know. It was funny that you mentioned it, because I was thinking about it the other day. Like, who would I call if I broke down on the side of the road and my wife wasn't available? If she was out of town, and we have all these services now that you can call instead of your friends, and it's like, I don't know. It just made me think.
Yeah.
And like, who would I call?
Oh, bro, you can call me at 3:00 in the morning. I'll freaking come out there.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, yeah, you certainly made the list of people I would call, but it just made me think about who I have in my circle right now. And then you look at your circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's changed. Because before, if you would call one of your buddies, they'd be like, bro, I don't have a car. Because that was the type of friends that you had before.
Right. Yeah.
I'm hungover. Like the
yeah,
circle.
No, I really can't.
I'm over across town, and like that's. But what I'm saying is, like, those are the circles of friends that kind of, like you said, they're seasonal, or they're my friends with kids, or they're my friends that like to drink, or these are my friends that are like the Seahawks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those are the ones who love the Seahawks. It's only one, but
yeah, that's a good group right there.
That's a you group. But yeah, it's. But the theme of narcissism, I just don't feel like you get friends like that being a narcissist. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can, because I've struggled with this whole thing about being a narcissist versus just being selfish and driven and things like that. I've thought about that before, because I've been called a narcissist before. And it's one that cuts kind of deep with people.
That's not a flippant word,
But it cuts deep with people who really care.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they really care about what they're doing with other people, and they really care about the emotional piece of it. Because I don't think that if you were a true narcissist that you would.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to form those bonds, those deeper bonds, versus just, this is I'm just going to give an example. This is my crop student, and that's how you introduce him. It's like, there's more to the story, because you know them more than that.
Yes.
So even if you were to introduce them to somebody, it would be more than just crop student.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
And for one, like, that's funny you say that, because I would never say, hey, this is Chelsea, my crop student. I would just be like, hey, this is Chelsea, her kids, go to my craft classes, and that's really how you describe someone, or how you, like, put whatever title you put on that person. Like,
right.
I know this guy from work.
Well, just
just
how you introduced Chris last week.
Yeah.
That's a deep bond.
Yeah.
You introduced him in a minute and a half.
Yeah.
That's a deep relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of staying with each other,
Exactly. But I'm sure you could do that with a ton of people.
Yeah, I probably could. And then that would, like, negate the whole narcissist.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make you feel Like, I want you to understand that I personally don't think that you are.
Good.
And I wanted to talk more about it because I know where I've come from with that comment to me.
Yeah.
And it hurt.
It did.
It hurts a lot, and you don't stop thinking about it.
Right. And it came up to a point where I was like, why am I still thinking about this? Because like your wife was saying, it gives you a little self-reflection, like, wow, am I really portraying this to people? You know, like that's
right.
horrible. That's horrible. So to even like just put that in my head and to give this title so much attention just shows how much, you know, like this comment was given to me probably about 5 days ago.
Yeah, probably just like in passing type of thing.
Yeah, and it was like, bro, and so it was funny because I responded back, but man, you really don't know me. You really don't know how much, for one, that comment said, and where I put you in before, you're not even in that category. Now, needs to say, I think this person is in a pretty bad space. You know, in his own right. I think he's in a bad space, and I still care for this dude.
Right.
You know, but he is in a different season in his life, which is not a very good space. I actually like digged at him, and it was horrible. I actually felt bad, and I said, "Bro, talk to me when your balls aren't in the bottom of a bottle."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And
well, because you got mad.
Yeah.
You got mad. I think that's okay. We're allowed to get mad.
Yeah.
You know, especially when somebody cuts us like that. I just, like you said, he was probably miserable.
Yeah.
So, what does misery love? Company.
Yeah.
And that's where he was trying to take you, but you didn't go.
Yep.
You went a little bit.
I did.
But, you know, shit happens.
But back to this, you know, I really think we hit something on this like social media type lifestyle. I think a lot of people like to put their...
We talk about the social media so much.
Gosh.
It intrigues me and scares me so much.
Yeah.
And I use it all the time.
It's so... Social media, it's a good and bad. It's a good and evil for real. You know, for one, it does keep people in contact with people that you may not pick up the phone and call. You know, you don't have that. So the only way that you can keep in contact with them is through a picture or through a comment and things of that nature, which I think it's a good part.
Agreed.
But when you're putting just the beautiful stuff out there and to be so, the other bad part, I know I'm going off tangent now, but their opinion is the only opinion that matters. So if you're opposite that opinion, like I've had people say, well, I can't be friends with you anymore. I was like, are you kidding me? That back to that seasonal Facebook. I'm a Facebook friend. That's where we're at. So you can block me now.
Yeah.
Because I don't agree with your opinion. Like, that's horrible.
No, it is horrible. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they've done... I just started off. I'm very interested to see what happens for the election in 2020 with social media.
Yeah.
First off.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see where that goes. Now, they've done some research.
Zuckerberg has power, bro. Power.
I think that they all have equal power. It's the new TV.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
True.
the new TV.
True. Mm-hmm.
It's the new TV that has no regulations. It doesn't go through a single person.
Yeah.
Which I think is okay. And the reason why I think it's
unfiltered.
It's unfiltered.
Right.
But it also doesn't, or maybe we're just not teaching ourselves how to interpret all of that data that's coming at us. Or maybe we're not even...
Data overload. Yeah.
We're not even able to process the data we just saw before more hits us.
Right.
And the research was, no matter what you're looking at, it's being interpreted in your brain. Mm-hmm. Whether or not you consciously are interpreting it, you're interpreting all of that input.
Yep.
So whatever you're putting in there is what is being kind of absorbed in your brain.
Yes.
Good, bad, indifferent, whatever. It's all going in there and it's all being processed. And
and emotions that come out of that.
But the emotional part, so the whole purpose of this study was to measure the brain activity that happens when I disagree with you or I call you out in this call-out culture that we have. And
someone did the study.
And it makes us feel good. It makes us feel good to cut somebody down and to eliminate somebody that's not abiding to our rules. And if you think from an evolutionary perspective, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because if somebody was in your tribe of 30,
okay,
and they were doing something that was counter to your culture, that could ruin your culture. It could ruin all of you.
Gotcha.
So you have to pull them out as the sickness and virus they are, and either rehabilitate them,
bend to your will,
right, or you kill them. That's what happened.
Yeah.
You know, that's why there's only certain amounts of people in the world, is because those people were pulled out and eliminated. But they were saying, you know, even whenever they were doing, like, they would take somebody in the middle of the town circle, and they would eliminate them there as a spectacle.
Yeah.
You know, if you stole, you got your hands cut off in the middle of the town square.
If you're a witch.
If you're a witch, you get burned at the stake. Those types of things happened. And we're only a couple hundred years away from that.
Yeah.
It's not like we've evolved into these, like, prim and proper.
Yeah, we're still very young as a country, man.
We're young as a species.
Yeah.
And living in these cities, and now just cities in general are new for the most part. The way that they are now, they're pretty new. And then you throw in there the ability to communicate across the seas and across the oceans. Now we're global, and we have all of that information coming at us all the time. It makes us feel good when we cut other people down. It's the weirdest thing. And they've done brain activity for it. And once you do it, it's almost an addictive thing.
Yeah.
Not so much as, and they said the correlation between, like, cocaine and doing this, they're not the same. That's not the same type of receptors that we're talking about. We're talking about emotional receptors, and those are even stronger.
Well, it kind of, like,
it was an NPR podcast.
I like NPR.
I do sometimes. I like when they're doing brain stuff. Yeah,
they it kind of goes back to how we don't pay in cash no more, right? You pay either with your phone, you pay with a debit card. You don't get the feeling of having that money and giving it to you. So you don't have a relationship with this money that's changing hands. So it's so easy to overspend, so easy to get in debt. You know, you don't have that same trigger, like, oh, this is the last $5 I have. Here it is. Like, you don't have that attachment, because we can go negative in our account, and then we get charged, like, exponentially. Like, that's how these daggone banks, they make so much money off of us and our overspending and what we do as a society. But it's just, it's so weird. It does really cut the people that are in your own agenda out of your life. Like, if they're not part of that, then I don't want you anywhere near me.
Yeah, so but it crosses the boundary, though, between that virtual world and real world.
Yeah, there is a cool saying, though. If you're the smartest person in the room,
you're in the wrong room.
There it is. You know, like, that's horrible. You have to have other things there.
But some people like being that. Those are the people that are the dangerous ones.
Yeah, those are narcissists.
I don't know if they're narcissists, but they're not people who want to grow.
We're trying to break down narcissists here, too.
Yeah.
At the Stars podcast.
They're just not the people that I want to really associate with. I don't like the people who get to a pinnacle and what they feel is a pinnacle, and then they stop.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. The more you succeed in your own mind, and the more you harden it, and the more that you just overcome your own obstacles, I just think that it's infectious. Other people enjoy that. And somebody who enjoys other people and helping them out and all of that, I don't think that you ever get to a room where you're the best. In your own mind, you never...
I don't want to be.
But you might be. But you never feel like it.
Yeah.
So you're continuing to evolve that that piece.
I remember it was something that we talked about, like me and you, or a thing that we love to fail.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps us, for one, it keeps us humble, it keeps us hungry, and it just wanting to overcome that.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people don't like that. They want to stay within that comfort of their lives.
Of course.
They want to do that. Or they're fighting too much stuff at work that they're like, no, I don't even want that.
So just to go back on what you were just saying, like we love to fail.
Yeah.
So I was watching this thing on Netflix. It was called The Mind Explained. And on The Mind
How do you find these things? Like, you just find some random stuff. You know that?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Obsessed. The way that everything happens in us is because of our brain and our heart. It's
Got it.
there, and for as much as we know about everything, we hardly know anything about our brain.
Nothing.
The thing that thinks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it controls everything. All that we know is certain spaces light up.
Like right and left brain.
Yeah, and then certain spots in your brain
Yeah.
that we've since labeled, but
That's all I know.
that's all I know.
Yeah.
But they were going through there's a memory challenge, a memory. It's like the World Memory Championship.
Okay.
Incredible people can memorize. Like this one woman, she has 3 world records, and I'm gonna botch it, but it was like 500 and some odd continuous numbers that she can memorize. A ridiculous amount of photos she could memorize, and there was another one, I just don't remember it. Imagine that. I'm sure she would remember the entire thing, but what she does is she creates a story out of the numbers. Like she can.
I saw a kid on that on Ellen that could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And what they. You know how, like, whenever you were in school, somebody would always come up with this, like, limerick or rhyme to remember things?
Yeah.
Like, die, deflect, intercept, and evade.
Right. Mm-hmm.
This is what they were doing.
Yeah.
But for 500 things. And I guess you're able to remember that because it hits an emotional piece. And you attach emotion with memory, and it's more concrete than if you're just trying to memorize something to memorize.
I bet that's a learned behavior. You can learn.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is as they continue to do this, they're what was it? The part of the brain. This is so like ironic that I can't remember it.
Prefrontal cortex.
No, it's in the middle of your brain, but anyhow, it would grow.
Mammalian.
It would grow.
Okay.
Like physically grow. Because you were working it more. So that whole meditation thing, and the woman who has the records said meditation is key. Because it allows you to fantasize and it allows you to create. It gives you more creativity to do things like that.
Wow.
So your brain actually grows kind of the less you use it in that respect.
That's crazy. Because it's a muscle, right?
But you're strengthening your mind.
That's it.
So doing it over and over again, failing over and over again, whatever that is in your brain, you're strengthening it. Like I truly, truly believe that.
Like if you kept hitting me with a hook, and I feel it, right? I'm not going to get hit by the hook again. Yeah.
Right. But the more you do that in different ways, I think strengthens your brain to be able to overcome anything. And it also allows you to kind of say, okay, my tire's flat today, no big deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to be late to work today, no big deal. It allows that little stuff to kind of, you can deal with it so much more efficiently because you're like, dude, I can run 50 miles. I've done that.
Yeah. That's
like no big deal.
Right.
This is nothing.
I've
created 2 businesses. Weird. This is nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, I truly believe after watching that and just listening to other people talk about all of the strengthening the mind and stay hard, I think something in our brain actually does get stronger, and I think it's a physical stronger.
Yeah.
It's growing something.
You've got to stay sharper and younger. Like this could defeat I would say Alzheimer's or just kind of like really helping your body stay woke. You know, it's so funny to me that adults are just doing their 9 to 5. They're coming home and just like vegging in front of a TV doing nothing.
It amazes me.
Like I don't like that. Can't be healthy. Like that can't be, for one, it can't be healthy for your body, and it can't be healthy for your mind. You're just inundating yourself with garbage
But I think part of your mind does shut off.
to
If
just
you
be watched by
Think about,
TV.
well, think about what happens to your body.
Yeah,
If you're not using it, it wastes away.
right.
I think your brain does the same thing. I think your brain does the exact same thing.
Anybody that's a medical professional,
It's a muscle.
Go ahead and
Nobody knows about it. Nobody. You go and research this stuff, and people don't know. They don't know why.
I really
They
would have
don't
went into
know-
psychology if I had to do it over again.
Oh man, I took so many psychology classes for my crim degree.
Yeah.
They just like, it's what I wanted to do. And then I realized there was zero money in it.
Yeah. A lot of them are theories too that if it worked or if it didn't work. Nothing was really brand new because I went through criminology too. Nothing was like super brand new. It just all theories. Nobody went out of the box and tried to think of something totally different.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really, really cool. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. You know, it sounds like a commercial, but
Yeah.
it's.
But I think people do. I know people do it. They just let it go away.
And they'll numb it with alcohol, with drugs, with so many other things. Like, what could stimulate your mind more than going out there and getting defeated?
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a physical thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Learn something. Take another hobby. You know.
yeah, do something that improves you. Even like, I don't even know what that means for everybody. For me, it meant physical, because I'm a dumb caveman type of guy.
It could be hunting.
You know what I mean? Like,
hunting, fishing.
Model trains. I don't know.
Model trains.
It's just what
People do that?
Oh yeah. You ever been to a hobby shop?
I have. But model trains, see, now that's not me.
Model trains.
There's a bunch of hobbies
little,
out there.
Little what do you call them? I don't want to call them trolls, but they're like little fairy fantasy lands. People build those.
Yeah.
You want to talk about YouTube channels? Look at those.
No.
Yes.
I don't wanna.
I'm gonna send them to you.
Don't you dare.
It's about people assembling them. The amount of effort and meticulous, like, fine details in these things, it's incredible.
We all go to say this to kind of stimulate people to have better lives, to have other things besides your 9 to 5, so you can create some kind of creativity or to push yourself to do something. It's really cool to see in Taekwondo in our schools. We're getting a lot more adults in. Oh man, that's so neat.
I know.
That's
You almost
so
want to
neat.
like grab them and say, "Don't stop."
Yeah.
Like, don't stop.
Yep, that's so neat. It's so neat to see people are just like, you know what? I'm just going to go at this and I'm going to fail. I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
Because as kids, you're going through that. Like, you're playing sports. You win games. You lose games. You get hurt.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And we're losing that part. As soon as we get adults, all of a sudden we stop the competitive edge.
Yes.
That's it. The competitive edge.
That's why I was thinking about this in my run the other day, because I saw some guy. It was early in the morning. He had ESPN on, because I look in people's windows. He had
That's
ESPN
creepy.
on. It's so creepy. And I can't help it. I just do. It's weird.
Yeah. No,
Like, I'll be walking. I'll be not walking, but whenever I'm running down the road, I'm like, "Yep, your window's open." And I just look. I don't know. I can't stop it. Anyhow, he's watching ESPN, so I'm thinking in my head, like, because I always say this too. Everybody wants to say, "Oh, why are you watching kids play video games?" Like, these kids that watch YouTube video.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that the adults do. It's the exact same thing as watching a baseball game, or watching a football game.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. So I'm over that part of it. But what I was thinking about, a dude watching ESPN all the time, was like, well, unless you play softball, which I dogged on softball for a long time, but the more I do like competitive stuff, I get it now.
Yeah.
Is like, if you're not doing something that you lose at or you get passionate about and you look forward to, like, you're not looking forward to go to work.
Yeah.
And then you're not looking forward to going home. So, like, what are you looking forward to?
That drink.
And then that's like, I don't know. I just don't.
I can't wait to have that taste of that whiskey in my mouth.
Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know. It's like there's just so much. You can enjoy your limited time here so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where I get into a situation where I want people to enjoy it because I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I want other people to enjoy it.
Like you just want to shake them up.
Well, because I know how good it feels.
Yeah.
You know, and I know how much I enjoy just waking up every day and getting after it. And I also know how miserable I was before.
Mm-hmm.
And how different I can feel just by putting in some effort.
Yeah.
And it feels good, and it also feels great to do that for other people.
Absolutely. And then when you find somebody that's willing to do it with you, you know, you're just like, yeah, that's when you can start to create better friendships as well.
Yeah.
You know, if you're sitting in the same corner of the world with the same people you've been drinking with for a while and not doing anything stimulating as I say a couple, but that could be two men, you know, as far as like a relationship, you know, then what are you really doing? Just eking your time away. Some people just, you know what though, and not to be insensitive for the people that just, hey, look, I just want to be that guy that sits on a porch and just, you know, rock myself away.
But like we always say, we're not talking to those people.
Right.
We're talking to the people that are miserable.
Yes.
Because they're not doing more.
Right. Or that say, you know what, I really wish I can do that.
Right.
Or I want to. Some people don't like to start from the bottom again. They feel like they've gone so much in their lives, and like I'm way better than just being a white belt in Taekwondo.
But you're not.
No, you're not. Learn something that because what I do right now, and us putting this stuff on YouTube, on the waves, your kids could be looking at this 10 years from now.
Yeah.
And so what are your kids looking at now about you? Wasting away on a front porch? You know, like what kind of, they don't know what drive you had when you were younger. You were a state champion wrestler. You were, you know, knocked that 3-pointer in the playoffs to win the game for your team. Mm-hmm. They don't know that part of you, you know? So do something where they can look at you and be like, you see how he's getting through that? You see how she's getting through that? And this is not just for men. I know we talk really masculine.
Yeah.
But this is for women that mothers, fathers, single moms.
Yeah.
You know, making it through, getting through life, you know, going from a GED to a college degree. Like, show your kids something else because they're looking at you.
Oh, for sure.
They're watching you.
Yeah.
But,
and you catch it right back at you, too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every now and again, you know, B will say something, and I'm like, I'll look at my wife, and I say, oh, that's a mirror.
Yeah.
It's a freaking mirror.
Your kids are going to emulate what you do.
And you can, and again, you could be the best parent in the world and have a shitty kid.
Definitely.
Or you could be the worst parent in the world and have a great kid.
But just walking away and let it come to fruition goes.
Not okay.
Yeah.
Not okay. Yeah, you got to be the example.
Right.
I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm not going against it. I just want, yeah.
But cool. Hey, got to wrap this up.
All right, let's wrap.
Hey, it was so good. Thanks a lot. Let's keep this going, man. I don't like this time off stuff. I love being out here.
Yeah, we're 2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah.
So we're back into it.
Yeah, back in the flow, baby.
That's right. Yeah, it was a little bit weird today just because Holden's back from the Navy for a little bit.
Yeah.
And so our studio is back to his bedroom.
Yeah.
So this is our makeshift studio, but it's all good.
But stick with us.
Hey.
We're still in.
This weekend, think about me. Send me your love because I may need it. I have the 50K trail run.
Boom.
So I'll be MIA.
That's gonna be a nice talk.
Yeah, I'll be MIA, but I wanna talk about it on Sunday.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
Let's sign out. Where can they find you?
GC Rican _Valor PDS, or Valor Combat Academy at Meadville. I run that page and Valor Combat Academy headquarters, and that's where we do the business.
Awesome. You can find me at Ambitious Distractions on Instagram. And thank you again for joining us.